Good morning, students. This is class 11th, subject chemistry, chapter 4, chemical bonding and molecular structure, and this is lecture number 1. So we will start with chemical bond. What is chemical bond? So when an atom combines with another atom, or when an ion combines with other ion, then what will happen? There is some force which hold the atoms together within a molecule, and that force is known as chemical bond. Now there are a number of questions which arise, like why do atoms combine? Why are only certain combinations possible, like hydrogen combines with another hydrogen atom and it forms H2 molecule? Why not H3 molecule? Next question is, why do some atoms combine while certain other do not? Like when hydrogen combines with another hydrogen atom, then it forms H2 molecule. But helium does not form He2 molecule. Okay. So to answer these questions, there are different theories. Okay. Like for example, Coulson-Lewis approach, Vesper theory, valence bond theory, and molecular orbital theory. So in this chapter, we will study about these four theories. So first one is Coulson-Lewis approach to chemical bonding. In 1916, Coulson and Lewis were the first to become independently successful in giving a satisfactory explanation about the formation of chemical bond in terms of electrons. G. N. Lewis, an American chemist, introduced simple notations to represent valence shell electrons in an atom, and these are known as Lewis symbols. See here that these are the elements, okay, and they are represented by the valence electron. Like for example, in group number 1, one electron is present in the last shell, okay. That is why here on lithium only one electron is represented. So this is a notation of Lewis dot structure. In the same way, when second group element beryllium is written with 2 electrons, then this is a notation of beryllium, and this is Lewis dot structure of beryllium. Okay. If 3 valence electrons are present, then we will represent the element like in this way, like boron and aluminium. In 14th group, valence electrons are 4. Okay, so you will represent 4 electrons like in this way. Okay, so this is the Lewis dot structure. Silicon and carbon, they belong to 14th group. Okay, these are the elements which were known at his time. Okay, in the same way, group number 15, nitrogen, phosphorus, so you will represent 5 electrons. Okay, and these 5 electrons are valence electrons. In the same way, 16th group element, 6 valence electrons are present, so you will represent 6 valence electron. 17th group, 7 valence electron, and 18th group, 8 valence electron. Okay, now what is Lewis approach? So Lewis postulated that atoms achieve the stable octet when they are linked by chemical bonds. And in sodium and chlorine, this can happen by transfer of electron from sodium to chlorine. If we write electronic configuration of sodium molecule, then you will find out that it is neon 3s1. Okay. Now valence electrons are 1. If sodium lose 1 electron, then it will acquire electronic configuration of neon. Okay, and neon is a 18th group element, and 18th group elements are more stable because they have stable electronic configuration. So after losing 1 electron, sodium positive will have stable electronic configuration. That means sodium atom can easily lose 1 electron. Okay, now next one is chlorine. So electronic configuration of chlorine is neon 3s2 3p5. As you can see here that only 5 electrons are present in 3p orbital. So it needs only 1 electron to complete its octet, right? Like 5 plus 2, 7, and 7 plus 1, 8. So if it will acquire 1 electron, then it will acquire electronic configuration of argon. Okay, and argon is 18th group element, noble gas, so it will become stable. So that is why chlorine will easily gain 1 electron and it will convert into Cl negative ion. Okay, Now when Na positive combines with Cl negative ion, then it will form NaCl. Okay, both are ions, and between these two ions there is a force, there is an attractive force which is known as electrostatic force of attraction. Okay, and they will form a stable compound that is known as NaCl. Now, significance of Lewis symbol. The number of dots represent the number of valence electrons. This number of valence electrons help to calculate the common or group valency of that element. The group valency of the element is generally either equal to the number of dots in Lewis symbol or 8 minus the number of dots. These are the facts which were given by Cosin. The formation of a negative ion from a halogen atom and a positive ion from an alkali metal atom is associated with the gain and loss of electron by the respective atoms. The negative and positive ions thus attain stable noble gas electronic configurations, and the negative positive ions are stabilized by electrostatic attraction. Next is octet rule. When an atom combines with another atom, it can be by complete transfer of electron from one atom to another atom, or it can be by sharing of valence electron. Okay, now we will define octet rule. So atom can combine either by transfer of valence electrons from one atom to another or by sharing of valence in order to have an octet in their valence shell. This is known as octet rule. Now there is a force of attraction between two atoms or ions. So now we will study about type of bonds. Okay. So there are basically three types of bond. One is covalent bond, second one ionic bond, and third one is coordinate bond. Coordinate bond is also known as dative bond. So first one is covalent bond. What is covalent bond? So covalent bond is formed by two atoms by mutual sharing of electrons between them so that they can complete their octets or duplets, and it is known as covalent bond. So here we will take some example, like for example Cl2 molecule. Okay, so here this is Cl chlorine atom and this is also chlorine atom. When you will write their electrons, okay, when you will represent their total electrons, then 287. Okay, so total 7 valence electrons are present, so you will represent these 7 electrons like in this way. Okay, here also, now as you can see, this chlorine atom needs only one electron to complete its octet. This chlorine atom also needs only one electron to complete its octet. So what will happen here? They will share electron and there will be mutual sharing. Okay, mutual sharing means that sharing will be from both the side. Okay, so here this chlorine atom will share electrons. So here you will draw one circle. Okay, and this chlorine atom will also share electron of this chlorine atom, and here you will draw second circle. So here you can see that between this portion there are two electrons. Okay, so these two electrons are making bond. Okay, one bond is formed by two electrons. So here you can see that between chlorine fluorine atom there is one bond. Okay, and in one bond two electrons are present. So you can represent it like in this way also. Now in covalent bonding, the shared pair of electrons present between the atoms are called bond pairs, while unshared pairs or non-bonding electrons pairs are known as lone pair. So here you can see that these two electrons are shared by these atoms. So they are known as bond pair because they are forming bonds. But as you can see that these electrons are not participating in the formation of bond, right? So these electrons are known as lone pairs or non-bonding electrons. In the same way, these electrons are known as lone pairs. So here we can define what is lone pair or non-bonding electrons pair. Those electrons which do not participate in the bond formation are known as lone pairs or non-bonding electrons. Here we will take some more example of covalent bond. So here H2O molecule. In H2O molecule there are total 3 atoms, 2 atoms of hydrogen, 1 atom of oxygen. Okay. So here this is hydrogen atom and this is oxygen atom and this is hydrogen atom. Valence electron of hydrogen is 1. So here you will write 1 dot. Okay. This hydrogen atom you will write 1 electron. And this is oxygen atom. So here we will draw 6 electrons. So 2 electrons are here, 2 electrons are here, 1 electron is present here and 1 electron is present here. Okay. So make sure that these electrons should be towards the hydrogen atom. Now you see oxygen needs 2 electrons to complete its octet. Okay. And hydrogen needs only 1 electron to complete its duplet. So here hydrogen will share electrons with oxygen. This hydrogen atom will also share electrons with oxygen. Okay. So there will be sharing of electrons. So when hydrogen will share 1 electron, you can see here that when this hydrogen atom will share this electron, then these 2 electrons will form 1 bond. So here we will represent it by this bond. Okay. And when this hydrogen atom share electrons with this oxygen atom, okay, so these 2 electrons will make 1 bond. Okay. So you can draw this bond. Okay. Now these 2 electron pair are not participating in the bond formation. Okay. So you will write it as it is. Okay. So what are these? What is the name of these electrons? They are lone pair. Okay. So how many lone pairs are present here? So 1 and 2. Because it is a pair. Okay. So there are 2 pairs. Okay. And total electrons which are not participating in the bond formation are 4. Remember, 2 lone pairs are present and 4 non-bonding electrons are present. Okay. Now next example is NH3 ammonia. So here total 4 atoms are present, 3 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of nitrogen. So central atom is nitrogen. Okay. So here nitrogen and 3 hydrogen atom. Okay. Now you will represent their valence electron. So nitrogen belongs to 15th group. So 5 valence electron. Okay. And 1 valence electron of hydrogen atom. Now this hydrogen needs only 1 electron to complete its duplet. So it will share this electron. This hydrogen will also share this electron. This hydrogen atom will also share 1 electron. Okay. So first you have to complete octet or duplet of the surrounding atoms. Okay. Now nitrogen needs 3 electrons to complete its octet. Okay. So nitrogen will share electron from this hydrogen atom and this hydrogen atom. Okay. So what will happen when there will be sharing of electrons? Then these 2 electrons will form 1 bond. So here this is the bond. When these 2 atoms will share these 2 electrons, then there will be formation of 1 bond. Okay, because 2 electrons makes 1 bond. Okay, so here there will be formation of 3 bonds and these 2 electrons are not participating in any bond formation, so they will present as it is as a lone pair. So 1 lone pair is present and 2 non-bonding electrons. Next one is CH4 methane. So here you can see that 5 atoms are present. Okay, so here carbon is central atom. So you will represent carbon atom with 4 valence electron because it belongs to 14th group and 4 hydrogen atom. Okay. Now this hydrogen will share electron with this carbon atom. Okay, so 2 electrons will make 1 bond. Here also these 2 electrons will make 1 bond. Here also and here also. Carbon has 4 valence electrons. So it needs 4 electrons to complete its octet. Okay, so the structure will be like this. Now next is types of covalent bond. Okay, so there are 2 types of covalent bond. First one is polar covalent bond. Second one is non-polar covalent bond. So polar covalent bond, if a covalent bond is formed between the different atoms, the shared pair is displaced toward the more electronegative atom. causing greater concentration of electrons density around the more electronegative atom. Such a covalent bond develops some ionic character and is called polar covalent bond, for example HCl. So we will understand this bond with the help of example. Okay, so this is Lewis structure of HCl molecule. Okay, hydrogen has one electron, so this cross is the valence electron of the hydrogen atom, and these are the 7 red dot electrons of chlorine atom. Okay, now chlorine will share electron with hydrogen atom, and hydrogen will also share electron of chlorine. Okay, so you can see that this is sharing of electrons. Now chlorine is more electronegative and hydrogen is less electronegative. You are already familiar with the term electronegative, that chlorine atom has more tendency to attract the shared pair of electron of a covalent bond towards itself. Okay, that means these electrons are shared by both the atoms, but they will be slightly more towards chlorine atom. Okay, so this chlorine atom will acquire slightly negative charge. This is delta negative charge, and this hydrogen atom will acquire small positive charge. Okay, so you will observe here that these two electrons, they are shared by these two atoms, but they will be more slightly towards the chlorine atom because it is more electronegative. Okay, so this is why that is why there will be a polarity in this molecule. Okay, so you can see here that both the atoms, they acquires small positive and negative charge, right? So that means this molecule is polar in nature. Polar means poles. Okay, so there are two poles, one is this, second one is this. That is why this type of bond is known as polar covalent bond. Okay, because there is polarity in this bond, because chlorine is more electronegative. So the shared electrons, shared pair of electrons are more towards chlorine atom. Okay, now second type of bond, okay, that is non-polar covalent bond. So if a covalent bond is formed between the same atoms, the shared electrons are equally attracted by the two atoms as the electronegativity of atoms is same. For example, oxygen molecule or chlorine molecule. So when chlorine atom combines with another chlorine atom, okay, then you will observe that there will be sharing of electrons. Okay, two electrons are present here. There is mutual sharing, but you will observe that these atoms are same. So electronegativity of these atoms are same, right? The electronegativity of chlorine is same as the electronegativity of this chlorine atom. So these two shared electrons, they will be present in the center, right? That means there is no small positive charge, no small negative charge on these atoms. So there is no polarity, right? So that is why this bond is known as non-polar covalent bond, because there is no polarity in the covalent bond. Okay, and this type of bond exists in those molecules which have same atoms, right? Now, properties of covalent compounds. So first is, in general, covalent compounds exist in the liquid or gaseous state at room temperature due to magnitude of intermolecular forces. So what do you understand by intermolecular forces? Intermolecular forces means the force of attraction between two molecules. Okay? Like for example, one is hydrogen molecule, another is also hydrogen molecule. So the force of attraction between two hydrogen molecules, that will be intermolecular force. Second point is, covalent compounds have low melting and boiling points. Third one, covalent compounds are generally poor conductor of electricity because they do not contain free electrons or ions to conduct electricity. Fourth one, they are soluble in non-polar solvents like benzene, but usually insoluble in water. Benzene is an organic compound and formula is C6H6. So, covalent compounds are soluble in non-polar solvents, okay, but they are insoluble in water. Water is polar in nature. there is polarity in water molecule. You are already familiar with the octet rule, that according to octet rule, during the formation of a covalent bond, the atom attains an inert gas electronic configuration. Okay. Now we will study its limitations. Okay. So exceptions of the octet rule. So first one is incomplete octet of the central atom. For example, lithium chloride LiCl. Okay, so here lithium chloride is present here. You can see that this lithium atom shares electrons with chlorine atom. So octet of lithium is not complete. Okay, its duplet is complete. Its octet is incomplete, but still it forms stable compounds with chlorine atom. In the same way, beryllium combines with two hydrogen atoms, and here you can see that after sharing of electrons, beryllium has 4 electrons. Okay, no, and its octet is incomplete, but still it forms stable compound. And here BCl3, 6 electrons are present on boron, right? Its octet is incomplete, but still it forms a stable compound. So this is a limitation, okay, or exception of the octet rule. Next one is nitrogen combines with oxygen and forms NO. Okay, so here there is sharing of electrons. Two bonds are forming between nitrogen and oxygen. Okay, so that means 4 electrons are shared by these two atoms. But as you can see here, that octet of nitrogen is not complete, and here there is odd electron. Okay, because 5 valence electrons are present over nitrogen, 2 electrons are shared by nitrogen. Okay, and 2 electrons are shared by oxygen. So 5 plus 2, 7. So octet of nitrogen is not complete, and here there is presence of an odd electron, right? So this is an exception. In the same way, next is expanded octet of central atoms. There are some molecules in which central atom has more than 8 electrons. When you will draw the structure, okay, when you will draw the Lewis dot structure, then 5 chlorine atoms are present around phosphorus atom. Okay, phosphorus belongs to 15th group. So phosphorus has 5 valence electron, and 5 electrons are shared by chlorine atom. So 5 plus 5, 10. So 10 electrons around the phosphorus atom. That means the central atom has more than 8 electrons, but still it forms a stable compound. Okay, so this is expanded octet of the central atom. In the same way, SF6. You will draw their Lewis dot structure by yourself. Okay. Next one is H2SO4. In this, sulfur is central atom. And here when there will be sharing of electron, then sulfur will have total 12 electrons. So it has more than 8 electrons. So it is also an exception. So next type of bond is ionic bond. So here we will define ionic bond, a chemical bond formed by complete transference of electrons from one atom to another, and hence each atom acquire stable nearest noble gas configuration, and it is called ionic bond or electrovalent bond. For example, sodium chloride. So in sodium chloride molecule, you will observe that it has 1 valence electron and chlorine has 7 valence electron. So sodium will donate electron to chlorine and chlorine will accept that electron. Sodium is metal because metal can easily lose electrons and non-metals can accept electrons, and in this way sodium will acquire positive charge and chlorine will acquire negative charge. As you can see, now their octet is complete, so now they are stable and they will form a stable compound. Now what are the favorable factors for the formation of ionic bond? So first is that metal should have lowest ionization enthalpy. That means if electron is loosely bounded to the nucleus, then we can easily remove the electron. So less amount of energy is required to remove the electron from the outer shell. Okay, so that means less ionization enthalpy favors ionic bond. Next is non-metal must have highest electron gain enthalpy. If electron gain enthalpy is more negative, that means addition of electron is easy. Okay, if a known metal add one electron easily, that means more amount of energy will release and value of electron gain enthalpy will be more negative. So known metal must have highest electron gain enthalpy. Next one is when positive ion combines with negative ion. That means when cation combines with anion, then some amount of energy releases. That energy is known as lattice enthalpy. So here we will define lattice enthalpy. The energy released during the formation of 1 mole of crystal lattice is known as lattice enthalpy. Okay, so lattice enthalpy must be high. Here you have to mention 1 mole. Okay, without this the definition is incomplete. So when 1 mole of ionic compound formed by the addition of cation and anion, the energy released during the formation of ionic compound is known as lattice enthalpy. Now there is a term ions. Species carrying either positive or negative charge are termed as ions. So positively charged species are known as cations and negatively charged species are known as anions. Now metal usually forms cation while non-metal except hydrogen usually forms anions. General characteristics of ionic compounds. First is ionic compounds are usually solids in nature. Ionic compounds have high melting and boiling points. Ionic compounds are soluble in polar solvents like water but insoluble in non-polar solvents. For example, organic compound benzene. Fourth point is ionic compounds are good conductor of electricity in molten state as well as in aqueous state due to presence of free electron. Now next type of bond is coordination bond. It is a type of covalent bond. Okay. So what is coordination bond? Here we will define coordination bond when in the formation of a bond the electron pair is donated by one atom but shared by both the atoms to complete their octet. So here we will take one example of SO2. Here central atom is sulfur and atoms which are present around sulfur are of oxygen. Okay, so first step is you have to draw valence electron. Sulfur belongs to 16 group, so 6 valence electrons are present. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oxygen also belongs to 16 groups, so 6 valence electrons are present. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here also you will represent 6 valence electrons of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is first step. Okay. Now second step is that you have to complete octet of these surrounding atoms. Okay. So first you will complete octet of oxygen atom. Now this oxygen needs 2 electrons to complete its octet. Right. So it will share 2 electrons of sulfur. Okay, so here you will draw one circle. Okay, now octet of oxygen is complete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? Now in the same way you will complete octet of this oxygen atom. Because 6 electrons are present, it needs 2 electrons to complete its octet. So it will share 2 electrons from sulfur. Okay. Now octet of both oxygen are complete. Now we will come to central atom, that is sulfur. Total valence electron of sulfur are 6. Okay. Sulfur can share electron from this oxygen atom or from this oxygen atom because sulfur needs only 2 electrons. So if sulfur shares 2 electrons from this oxygen atom. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Octet of sulfur now is complete, right? That means sulfur shared electron only from this oxygen atom. So here you will see that there is mutual sharing. This oxygen is sharing 2 electrons of sulfur, and this sulfur is sharing 2 electrons of oxygen. Total electrons are 4. This is mutual sharing, and there will be formation of double bond here. One bond will come here and second bond will come here. But here only oxygen is sharing electron from sulfur, right? These 2 electrons are of sulfur, not oxygen. So sulfur is donating electron to oxygen. So here there is not mutual sharing because electrons are shared by sulfur, right? So electrons are donated by sulfur but shared by both the atoms. Because these 2 electrons are counted in the octet of sulfur as well as in the oxygen. Again I am repeating that these 2 electrons are shared by these 2 atoms but donated by only sulfur atom. So there is no mutual sharing. That is why this bond is coordinate bond, and coordinate bond is represented by arrow. Okay, as sulfur is donating electron to oxygen, as sulfur is sharing electron to oxygen, so arrow will be towards the oxygen atom. So here we will take one more example, okay, of ozone molecule. Formula is O3. So 3 oxygen atoms are present. This oxygen is present in the center, right? Now, first we will complete octet of these 2 oxygen atoms. Valence electron of oxygen are 6. So 6 electrons are represented by cross sign, okay, and 6 electron of this oxygen atom are represented by the circle. So this oxygen atom will share 2 electrons and octet is complete. So you have to count electron which is present in this circle. Octet of oxygen is complete. Okay. Now this oxygen will also share 2 electrons from this oxygen atom. So octet of this oxygen atom is also complete. Now we will come to this oxygen atom. 6 valence electrons are present. It needs only 2 electrons. So this oxygen atom will either share electron from this one or this one. It cannot choose both the oxygen atom. So here oxygen atom will share electron from any one of the oxygen atom. Suppose we will take this one. So 2 electrons are shared by this oxygen atom. So here there is mutual sharing of 4 electrons, right? This oxygen atom is sharing electron from this one and it is also sharing electron from this one. Okay, so 4 electrons are shared. So formation of double bond. So here you can see that double bond is present. But here electrons are donated by only central atom, right? These electrons belongs to this electron. That means electrons donated by this atom but shared by both the atom. So that means this bond is coordinate bond. Okay, because this oxygen atom is not contributing any electron. Okay, electrons are donated by this oxygen atom but shared by both. If you will count the electrons in the octet, then these 2 electrons are counted in the octet of this oxygen atom as well as in the octet of this oxygen atom. So this bond is coordinate bond, and as this central atom is donating electrons, so the arrow will be towards the this one, this oxygen atom. Okay, so you will represent it like in this way. So this is coordinate bond. Now next example is of carbon monoxide. So this is carbon, this is oxygen. 4 valence electrons are present on carbon atom and 6 valence electrons are present on oxygen atom. Carbon needs 4 electrons to complete its octet and oxygen needs 2 electrons to complete its octet. So here carbon will share 4 electrons, okay, and oxygen will share 2 electrons of carbon. In this way, octet of both the atoms are complete now. Now you will observe one thing, that one bond is formed by this electron, blue one and black one. So this will make one bond. Second bond, it will be from these 2 electrons. but these 2 electrons belongs to only oxygen atom. That means these 2 electrons are donated by oxygen but shared by both the atoms. So this bond is coordinate bond. Okay, so here oxygen will make coordinate bond with carbon atom and you will show arrow like in this way. Okay, because these 2 electrons belongs to only oxygen atom. Okay, so electrons are donated by oxygen atom but shared by both the atoms. Now next topic is formal charge. So in the Lewis dot structure, a formal charge is the charge assigned to an atom in a molecule, assuming that electrons in a chemical bond are shared equally between the atoms. Here we will not consider electronegativity of atom. The formal charge of an atom in a polyatomic molecule or ion means those molecules or ions in which there are more than 2 atoms. Here we will define formal charge as the difference between the number of valence electrons of that atom in an isolated or free state and the number of electrons assigned to that atom in Lewis structure. So there is a simple formula to calculate formal charge, and that is total number of valence electron in the free atom minus total number of non-bonding electrons minus half of total number of bonding electrons. So suppose we will calculate formal charge of this atom in ozone molecule. In ozone molecule, 2 bonds are covalent bond and 1 bond is coordinate bond. Okay, so total number of valence electron on first oxygen atom 6. So here you will put the value, it is 6. Okay, now next is minus total number of non-bonding electrons. Okay, so here total number of non-bonding electron, you can see that 2 electrons are not participating in any bond formation. So here you will write 2. Okay, minus half of shared pair of electron, right? That means total electrons which are shared by this electron. So here you will observe that this oxygen is making double bond with this oxygen atom. That means 4 electrons are involved because one bond is formed by 2 electrons. So 2 bonds are formed by 4 electrons. So 4 electrons are shared, okay, between these 2 oxygen atom. Now this oxygen atom is also making bond with this oxygen atom, right? So 2 electrons are present here also. So 4 plus 2, 6. So half of shared electrons, that is 6. When you will solve it, it will comes equal to plus 1. That means formal charge on first oxygen is plus 1. In the same way, we can determine formal charge on second oxygen and third oxygen. Okay. So on second oxygen, you will determine that total number of valence electron of this oxygen atom 6 minus total number of electrons which are not participating in the bond formation 1, 2, 3, 4. So here you will put the value 4 minus 1 by 2 into shared electrons. So this oxygen is sharing electron from this oxygen atom. So 4 electrons are shared because double bond is formed here. So 4. It will comes equal to 0. That means formal charge is 0. Okay. Now we will determine formal charge of third oxygen atom. So total valence electron of this oxygen atom 6 minus number of electrons which are not participating in bond formation. This oxygen is not donating any electrons because this bond is coordinate bond, right? So 6 electrons are not participating in the bond formation. So here you will write 6 minus half of shared electrons. So as there is coordinate bond and in single bond 2 electrons are present. So that means 2 electrons are shared between these 2 oxygen atoms. So 2. It will comes equal to minus 1. Okay. This oxygen atom accept electron from this oxygen atom. So there is negative charge here and there is positive charge here. Now, formal charges do not indicate real charge separation within the molecule. These charges help in keeping track of the valence electrons in the molecule. Next point is Formal charges help in the selection of the lowest energy structure from a number of possible lowest structure for a given species. Generally, the lowest energy structure is the one with the smallest formal charges on the atoms. The formal charges is a factor based on pure covalent view of bonding in which electron pairs are shared equally by neighboring atoms. So that's all for today, students. Now your homework is you have to do NCERT exercise question number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 14, 17 and 18. So note down these questions. So send your homework on my email ID. If you have any doubt or queries, please let me know. Thank you and have a nice day.